Welcome back, welcome back. Today we're going to be continuing with the Cobalion, or the Iron Crown Team King Icon Cutter. And before I begin, there's something I want to announce. So, one of the big things that I took for granted back when I was playing Mons heavily and when I hit my ultimate peak was the power of people. Power of the people around me. I was surrounded by players who wanted to get good with me, the Blunders, the Joeys, the CTCs, all the legends of the past, right? That's something I took for granted. A big part of my success was because of who I was surrounded to. I had access to all the top players, right? Those who were ahead of me at the time, those who weren't as far ahead of me, with the YouTube channel, and then those who were my peers. And we could battle consistently and sharpen each other. We'd go on the ladder together, and we'd have fun in calls and whatnot. And so, I was talking to a buddy the other day, and he's like, "Yo, Jam, bro, I haven't played Mons in a minute, and I've been watching the vids, and because he was a previous bootcamp member, and he's one of my best friends today." And he's like, "Man, watching you play, it's been making me want to get back into the game and just play and have a good time." And he was like, if you had something like a group thing, man, that would be amazing. Like the ability to just hop on the ladder with a group of guys who are all so passionate, and we're just all having a good time while sharpening each other. And so I was like, who you think so? I don't know if anybody would want to do that. And he's like, "Nah, dude, if you had that, man, right now." And so I decided, for the first time ever, I'm not sure how long this is going to do it, I'm going to do 2 group sessions. It's going to be called the Mastermind. And so the link is in the description down below. I can only take 5 people per mastermind, and there are only 2 dates. It's going to be on Wednesday and one on Saturday. It's going to be for next week. So if it's something you're interested in, click the link down below, and you're going to be a part of the first mastermind. If it's something that's workable and you guys enjoy and it's a great thing, then we'll just keep it going. Another benefit of the mastermind is you get added to a private Discord group. It's called the Private Academy. And in there, you're going to always have access to the people you were laddering with. So you can always do laddering session. And within that group, I'll be doing weekly, either just massive Discord group laddering sessions, or we're definitely going to be doing Q&As, where whatever Mons question you have for that week, I'll just make a video answering everybody's questions. So click the link down below, and you may be one of the 5 people. So if you click it and it's not available and it's saying you can't book, that means it's filled. So definitely don't waste time if that's something you're interested in. But anyway, we're gonna hop back in. We're having a lot of fun yesterday. Got a lot of wins. So yeah, today we're going to be using this. And one of the key things to the success of yesterday's live, I didn't say it explicitly because I wanted it to be demonstrated, not just discussed. But if you look at yesterday's live, the one that was 1900 plus, we went like for 2 hours, all wins. The key, and I've trained most players that, and I don't say this to brag or something, just to give a bit of credibility. And so this is not just some random guy giving his take on something. The majority of the players that are in the tour scene, in the past and future and present, either came through the Academy Discord group itself, or were previous viewers of the channel. Why does that matter? Because these same principles, these aren't things that I'm like, okay, let me make this arbitrary rule up, right? And so one of those things is, whenever you hit your peak, if you need to screenshot it, if you need to whatever, just take the picture. Let me see if this didn't work. Yeah, I reloaded this just in case. I was like, taking me a while to find a game. But if you hit your peak, then be cognizant of the fact that, okay, I'm going to screenshot, I'm going to play at least one more game. Why is this key? Humans have the tendency, particularly if you hit a certain threshold whatever it may be. You may make a specific amount of money and you're like in a sales organization, you're like, finally I hit my numbers, or it's in a game you like, or whatever. We have the tendency to attach our self-image's worth on the things we care about and on our successes, and that applies in every arena, not just games, right? It could be a grade in class. Okay, I'm an A student, and so if you fall below a certain number that you're expecting, then at that point you're gonna have a really strong negative emotional reaction. And so oftentimes the players on the ladder, let's say that one of your goals is 1800 and you finally cracked it, the tendency is to stop playing, or you're gonna make an alt, or you're going to go, okay, well, I need to take a break. What I encourage is for you to grab one more game. Take the screenshot so you have the ladder peak, and then grab one more game. Why is this? Because oftentimes we stop and go psychologically, quote unquote, take a break, where we actually don't need to. We have at least 50 to 100 more points that we could have gained with that momentum while you're in that zone, while you're focused, while your critical thinking is sharp. But we stop and go, oh, well, I need to take a break, when you really didn't. You just didn't want to lose your points. You didn't want to risk. And so it's taking your mind out of that state of, that's the goal of it, is to cling to the points. I need the points, like, and really remember that, oh, the point of this is to learn and grow, right? And the points must come. So that's all I'd say about that. Garg is very dangerous in this one. Iron Fence Garg can stick on my opponent potentially. Raging Bolt, something I'd want gone. Curum is a problem. Curum is something I am susceptible to. He has a control in the form of Corvinado, so not great. Iron Crown's really dangerous outside of Bliss. A very, very tricky team. Rocks plus Garganical Iron Defensing is solid. I want to be careful of Miar Scarlet running Trick. That's my major concern. But other than that, once that's confirmed, then Garganical can just Iron Defense and clobber. Raging Bolt is a pretty big variable, but we should be able to potentially force the Terror, and if we can do that, then Zapdos is a menace. So as we discussed yesterday, you can assure the success of your attack if you only hold positions that cannot be defended. And what that looks like in this case is Curum and Raging Bolt are offensively the most problematic too, so we don't want to give him an opening where that's going to be an issue. Now, another case like this, this could be, what's this, 1600. This could be Choice Scarf Lando, which wouldn't KO me. This could be Rocky Helmet, which is more likely, unless the Blissey is a rocker. But if he does choose to U-turn and outspeeds me, then so be it. Will Draco into Corviknight or Blissey? And then he'll confirm his Choice Scarf to me. If he EQs, he won't be able to knock me out. And so objectively, your Draco is fine. Ideally we connect. Him leading Landorus implies that he is scarfed, right? And so we confirm that bit of data right there. That's going to be useful because Garg doesn't have to be concerned about that as he opts for Blissey. We managed to land a Draco Meteor, which is nice. But we still have to be mindful of like Curum, right? And so Hazards being up early is really important here. Very likely we're going to see a repositioning of the Landorus, but the fact that the Landorus is Choice Scarf is very good. So that implies that he's probably so predictable. That implies, but Choice Scarf means that you can't deal with Tusk, but that implies that now Curum may come in and intimidate. It's a free Curum, but the Stealth Rocks are going to be key to keep this Curum at bay. He opts for the Corviknight, which is interesting, primarily because since the Landorus is scarfed, he has to be wary of how he plays, and so this allows my Zapdos to Volt Switch a little more freely. Since the Landorus is Choice Scarfed, if he were to opt for Landorus, it's fairly low risk for me. I can always just Hurricane if he Stone Edges for some reason, because he's going to risk getting statused. But this is low ladder. Yeah. For the love of fucking God, that was a big Hurricane miss. I don't know why he did that. He probably expected my Tusk. but it just wasn't a correct play. So that was a pretty big hurricane miss. That Lando would never be able to come in again. But I could have samurai'd there, to be fair. I think over time the opponent may go, okay, well, this isn't working for me, so I'm just going to switch up moves arbitrarily, even though it's objectively not the best move. As we get to Volt Switch here, as Landers comes in, as I said, so we're in a roost here to scout out for the Stone Edge side, because U-turn wouldn't make much sense. I want a double Volt Switch, but yes, U-turn again, likely Stone Edge. U-turn wouldn't make much sense. I don't want to give Raging Bolt free switching, so I'm trying to avoid that as Yas for Stone Edges here. So okay, I've gotten a decent read on the opponent's level of thought. Okay, so we're gonna do this one more time. Even if Raging Bolt were to come in here, it's not ideal. What do I intend to win with? I don't have any sleeper. His Blissey's is the wild card here. Otherwise, I'd blow through his team with my Dragon Ball. But I have to slowly play this down. But as I said, we can ensure the success of our attack if we only attack positions that cannot be defended. So right here is an interesting turn. So most players here, so this is a key turn, right? He's used up his booster energy, and so that's going to help Gargantica later on, and we could potentially force him to terrestrialize here. If we force the terrestrialization, I know he's going to stay in and go for the Dragon Pulse because he didn't attack first, which allows the Iron Crown to come in on the Dragon Pulse, right? And so now he's obviously forced out by the Tycon Cutter, the Tycon Cutter Killer, which allows for us to go and force this out. Because what's important is getting the terrestrialization gone. I could Psyshock, but he may go for the, he may be one of those rogue. Psyshock objectively better, even if he were to stay in. No. Even if Blissey were to come in, the Bliss has to heal. I think now is a better time to get my Samurott, Sui, and Foreman. No, we play the same sequence. We force Corviknight in. But now the difference is that I can Hurricane freely with the Zapdos next time. Before, I've been wary of Volt switching because the Raging Bolt obviously can come in on my Zapdos. But this is where we just play it patiently. Sure, the Corviknight's pressure stalling my Stealth Rocks, and that's annoying and all. But now I can Hurricane freely. Before we connect, great. What's the objective best player? Hurricaning again. He likely goes to Kyurem. Subjective. Let's say he does U-turn. But he either Stone Edges or trying to avoid having a Kyurem matchup if possible. Because Dose is great for the majority of his team, to be frank. Dose is amazing versus his team. Okay, and we connect. I don't know, even if you were to Stone Edge there. So this is excellent because I get to go for the Volt Switch on the Raging Bolt. And I'm slower, which is amazing. which allows Iron Crown to come in. And since I can Volt Switch without much thought here, actually, let's see better. Because I'm debating whether Volt Switch did 27 from my dose. I just need this Withered Down for my guard to be able to Iron Defense. And if this goes away, then Zapdos. Choose on the squad. Say Blissey comes in, or let's say he stays in. No. I had to weigh my risk versus reward there. Like, if he were to leave it in, if Blissey were to come in, because that wasn't really about prediction. I'm still rusty, so forgive me on that. Still very rusty. So like usually when I'm very adjusted to a metagame, like I can like, okay, I know Meowscarada's roles, but I'm still not 100% on a lot of these roles. But my knowledge is getting it high enough to where I know what generally most things can do. So like, for example, anticipating the potential Terra Fairy. I'm in the meta enough to know that much. But Corv, Terras, Meowscarada, Blissey, those aren't things I see very often. And so my game plans are getting more sophisticated because when I look at team preview, it's not as foggy. For a while, it was just like, all my mental energy was being spent trying to figure out what the mon is going to do. So now it's like, okay, less mental energy is being spent on figuring out what they're gonna do. Still some being spent, but it's less energy figuring out what they're gonna do and more on what I'm going to do in order to win. So that's why you see me have those moments where I'm trying to get off autopilot and go, okay, well, actually, let me weigh the risk versus rewards. And that's where most players have the greatest challenge. Is like, how does this short-term action align with my long-term goal? And one of the quick keys is to pause between turns and go, what's my destination? Because there are really 4 key components, right? You have to have a destination, which you're going to find out in the team preview. That's what we call our win condition, right? And then you're going to have your you're going to have your destination. You're going to have the direction, which is like, okay, well, where do I go? Like, in the battle itself, you're going to have the location, which is your position, which is where you are on the field. What's the matchup currently? And so really in the battle, well, in the team preview, you're supposed to find out the destination, like what's your win con, and the game plan, the direction, how are you going to go about doing it? What's the actual intention? And then you're going to, in each moment of the battle, you're going to determine what's your location. Like, what's the situation right now? And so you need to find out, just like a GPS, what the current location is, and then go, okay, like if you're off, if you took some back roads and you're on a dead end, the GPS would go, okay, well, your location is this, so you need to go here, here, and here to get to the destination. So you must always know your location and your destination. But then you have to actually know the direction. And since you're the GPS within a Pokemon battle, it's your job to find out the location, right? So hopefully that made sense. I mean, your job to find out the direction. Well, it's your job to find everything out, but you're directing yourself within the battle. So I'm gonna see if I can make this a little more practical in the actual thing. So at team preview, I need to find out what my ideal destination is. So by doing that, I need to see what the situation is, which is your matchup. So Zapdos is good versus Chestnut. Defensively, if Chestnut was a threat. He has no ground immunity, ground type, so I can Volt Switch fairly freely, right? My Tycon Cuttermon, only Goldingo is coming in, I guess Alolan Muck to a lesser extent, but very dangerous for him offensively, right? So offensively, that's great. Garganacl on Iron Defensing could sweep him if it weren't for Goldingo. But that's removable, that's killable. Great Tusk, he has absolutely no good ground resist beyond the Chestnut. Samurot's similar. Samurot's very good. He has no hazard control beyond the Hatterene, and Shadow Ball destroys him outside of the Muck. So it seems like Muck and Goldengo holds up a lot of his team. On my end, I determined again what's the situation, what can't I guard against. That's what the two questions are for. I don't guard particularly well versus Drago, unless yeah, Drago is a bitch. I don't guard particularly well versus Goldengo, and so one would assume we're gonna be staring down that Chestnut or that Ogerpon, whatever the thing is called. This may have Tycon Cutters is quote unquote free. I was gonna say this may have I wanted the Voltage there, but this may have Spiky Shield. And so when you don't know that kind of data, it's important to be mindful of that. So this, you know, potential knockoff Garg keeping its leftovers is decent. This thing gets the ability to poison mons, so I'm a little wary of that. Poison jabs directly, and he doesn't get the poison. That's splendid. So we're gonna do his headlong rush directly to cover for a potential Hatterene. It turns out he's Rocky Helmet Chestnut. Very likely a Hatterene switch again, but I don't have any data. So we're gonna do his mid ground Iron Crown. So he just spikes. Okay. Very well then. And this allows, how much did Muck take? Muck took 17. So, okay, so ops for Goldengo. Was that balloon? I got a crit on one of them. Aegis Slash is a funny name. So it does about 20%, so around 40. I'm not 100 certain on what this Goldengo has in store. It seems bulky, or I just don't know the typical spread. So we're gonna mid-ground Zapdos here as he uses Dazzling Gleam, which shows us that when he has it. It actually did a lot to me. That might be specs. That did 43% to me. I think that's spexed. Okay. I think he specs Goldengo. Means if I can KO that. So now, again, one of the keys is to hold positions that cannot be defended. I mean, you can ensure the success of your attack if you get what I'm saying. Where can't he defend? He can't defend against the Steel Beast. Him spiking was a solid play. I can spin decently easily. So Muck comes in and Muck gets KO'd here. Shadow Sneak hurts, but the Tycon Cutter King is important as Goldengo comes in here. Dazzling Gleam occurred last time, so again the key is to figure out where he can't defend. Dazzling Gleam from Samurai would be a bitch, but Zapdos is my weakest link here. It's not necessary. He makes it rain. Excellent. Yeah, he's choice specs. He crit me, so I can't 100% tell, but it's very probable that he's choice specs. So we're gonna Ceaseless Edge here. The Ceaseless Edge is for the so that my Iron Crown can KO every mon on his team. Honestly, it's likely gonna force a terrestrialization at some point. The Chestnut I have potential Encore for, but the Samurai is actually legit, so I don't want to be too greedy. I do want the hazards gone. He doesn't guard well against Flamethrower, so we're gonna mid-ground Dragapult here. So he has spikes, which again I could have had a good situation versus, but at this point you can't Draco Meteor. I mean, Hatterene may come in. U-turn again because of the positioning I have. I'm actually gonna U-turn out here. I'm fairly certain he's just gonna go for and leave the Chestnut in. He strikes me as that type. But it's irrelevant what he's gonna do. I need to focus on what I need to do, and what my worst case scenario is. Yeah, I knew Hatterene was gonna come in. I didn't want Hatterene matchup. That's why I wanted to U-turn if I went. But I think this might be fine because I'm not sure what the Hatterene. I don't see an item. I don't know what the Hatterene is. Well, my Garg is really key. My Terra Fairy Garg. It's Draining Kiss. Assume Calm Mind, maybe Terra Water. But I'm gonna go Iron Crown here. Chestnut, excellent. And now, again, we can assure the success of our attack if we only attack positions that cannot be defended. So, I didn't expect Chestnut, to be fair. If Chestnut goes in, I can Shadow Ball more freely. That's a really big thing for me. As he goes, Drago. This could be Scarf, I suppose. He's fucking Scarf. Maybe I should have scouted for that. Darn. That's a big problem. Me losing my... that's a big issue. Well, this is dead. Tusk doesn't die. Chestnut probably comes in. That's a big deal. Him synthesizing is great for me. This has bulletproof, which is why I'm not Shadow Ball spamming. So Elite, he gets sacks Drago. Ugh, what a nuisance. Oh, he goes Hatterene, which is a misplay, unless this is Terra Water. Let's say Terra Waters. I wouldn't die to Draining Kiss, but he'd give up his terrestrialization. Endure. Oh, it's Custap. He's running Custap stuff. Would it be Misty Explosion then? Would it be Draining Kiss? I don't know what to expect from this, honestly. So fortunately, Healing Wish. Maybe Goldie. Drago wouldn't make sense. Okay, Dragos, which means I get to... I might just destroy the majority of his team here. What do I want to do? The Drago is useless now because of Garg's Terra. I'll do is Iron Defense. He goes Chestnut. I don't know what the Chestnut's gonna do beyond this. Because at this point, I Flamethrower freely. And there's literally, since, well, he hasn't terrestrialized yet. But Flamethrower is a... yeah, Flamethrower is a Draco Meteor. It's better actually. What am I doing? I can now Draco since Hatterene is gone. We know me and Draco have a love-hate relationship. Okay, so Chestnut dies, which opens up my Samurai. Draco comes in, but Draco must be Terra Steel then or something. I'm not gonna go hard Gargantical here. I'm actually gonna go probably Great Tusk. Like hard Garg is so... Like I have a whole... I'm gonna go mid-ground Samurai. So Ogerpon, which is surprising to me considering like... I don't know how Ogerpon was supposed to be Garg. Great Tusk beats Goldie, so if I were to... Because Dragapult KOs everything, so I just Sucker Punch here. I'm debating whether or not it's more important to keep. I'm gonna give up Great Tusk actually, because of potential Terra stealing. Ogerpon is a little annoying, but didn't expect Draining. Means that he has the Sturdy boost. Shit. This has Encore. That's an issue. Where's this? Go for that one rock move. One leech. Oh, pull. Probably could have played this cleaner. Loses a mind here though. So it's a matter of who he's gonna give up. If he gives up the wrong one, he loses. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I'll lose now. Tough loss to take. Because this is a pretty easy game. All things considered. Unless Drago is slower than Pope. But he makes it rain, and which seals the deal because okay, yeah, I lost. This was a good loss to take because this was an easy win, and I didn't weigh my risk versus reward enough. Now the Ogre Pawn might not have Encore, which would have just won me the game. But these are useful losses to take, as I mentioned. If I were to reflect on this, there were several options where I could have blown this guy away off rip. I could have controlled the hazards better. But I think the biggest thing was just not using Iron Crown efficiently enough. Had I just scouted for the Drago, for example, the turn where Iron Crown got KO'd, I'm like, you know, should I risk it being Scarf? No. I had a whole, was it dead at that point? My Zapdos was dead. But let's say he was Choice Scarf. This literally eats his team alive. It's a KO every time. So if push come to shove, I just go Samurai here. Right, Samurai's mid. So that was just sloppy. And as a result, I took an avoidable loss. But that was also because I didn't have any clear direction. I was trying to figure out things mid-battle. The opponent had a lot of things that were a little wonky, like the Chestnut and the Reggie. So when I'm unfamiliar with things, it's going to be a little trickier to do that. But it wasn't a case where it couldn't have been solved, right? There were plays that I could have made that were more... the opponent didn't play particularly well. It's not like it was one of them things where it's like, oh my goodness, he was just... I just lost myself that game. Yeah. Because Goldengo one-shot Zapdos with the Make It Rain, which mattered, I'm pretty sure. I don't think crit would KO Zapdos from full. I mean, I don't think a non-crit would KO Zapdos from full. But even in those cases, the situation is still the same, right? And that's why I said I'm still rusty. There's still, not because we had a solid win streak that it means that I'm like, okay, but there's gonna come a time where it's gonna be very second nature, where the calcs are like in. And so we're gonna try again for this one. I'm gonna be a little more intentional about the direction. He has a lot of weird shit again. But it's another case where a Tycon Cuttermon could be quite lethal. So let's assess what the situation is. The Zapdos, pretty trash to be honest. It can maybe do something with the numbers, but that was pretty bad. He has hazard control in the Glamora, but beyond that, nothing else. Rocks plus the Tycon Cuttermon is really dangerous. Terra Steel. Terra Fairy is useful though, because it can save me from quite a bit of his threats. He has a weird enough little 1600 team that could give me a lot of trouble. Like, it's the right amount of weird that that I could be in a bind if I'm not careful. And so actually didn't even put a game plan. What's good? Shout out to Andre Harris. So this could be like the Rogue Scarf Garchomp. I like his name, Inno Champa. But this could be a Rogue Scarf Chomp. This could be a Rogue Sash Chomp. I think lower ladder, more probable that's the Sash. What do I intend to win with here? I'm having a challenge finding out how I intend to win. That's good. Of course. Okay, so he is scarfed. So I lose my pull. But that's it. Yeah, with low ladder, you just never know. I'm gonna KO it, but I lost a lot of value there. So let me reevaluate. Without my Tusk is gonna be at half, and then I have to stare down Kiram and he's gonna predict. And this is a fairly offensive team, so I don't have a lot of wiggling room for mistakes. That is a big turn. Okay. So 41%. The problem is now he gets to go to Kiram. I'm very confident he's gonna Earth Power. I likely have to outplay him slightly. I'm gonna go as hard as Zapdos here. He lost his ground immunity. If the Kiram is choiced, then you know, if the Kiram is choiced, then this won't work. Yeah. Let's see if it's. Yeah. I figured as much, but you know, I don't know enough about this player to. So here you either terrestrialize or you go to fucking Snorlax. It could be Terra Ground. I've seen that. It's Terra Ground. I should have Volt switched, but I was like, don't give up the dose. Yeah. They terrestrialized. It's Terra Fire. Which means Samurai's a little better, I guess. If he loses the Cure, actually can't. It's always the lower ladder, guys. I swear. But I'll take the data. I'll take the data. Samurai is really important. I have win cons. It just depends on what an Amorous is and all that. If the spec's an Amorous, then I'm in a bind. It goes Balloon Vamora. That's very strange. Best play here would be the Mortal Spin. Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna recover here. Recover again. I have my boots still. Earth Power. Tusk would die to EP. I guess it just depends on what his This depends on what his other move is. For example, here I'm gonna go Sulk here, which is annoying because I don't want to. If he has Sludge Wave, then okay, excellent. That's perfect. All right, I should be slower, which is really important here. It's actually fucking slow Goldengo. Shoot. It's slower than Zapdos Goldengo. Means maybe T-Wave or Hex or something. Because if Garg, if he sacks his Goldengo, I win. I know he won't make it rain, so I have to see what Dazzling Gleam. Oh shit, this might be make it rainless if he has Dazzling Gleam. So we're gonna zap those here. Or he's some weird, but he's bulky as fuck. Like, what is this? And it doesn't have an item. Okay. He's dazzling gleaming. Means he's gonna recover this next turn. Well, if he has recover. I'm not sure what his moveset is. Is it Power Gem? Okay. Which I'm actually glad to see, because this means my Tusk can fucking finally attack. I doubt he'd go hard on Emrys. It's a little risky. It's a wee bit risky. If I yes, Power Gem, Earth Power would kill me. I lose too much value. How would I win? If I get up rocks. If I get up rocks. Okay. Here comes the Enam. Yep. The Enam has to attack me. Guess it's just a matter of what the item is on the Enam. Does he have Make It Rain? I mean, he has to have Make It Rain keys going to it. Oh, he's just, what's his face? He's fucking great. He's damn, Covert Cloak. Okay. So now you sack Snorlax. Yeah. But I'm cooked. So I've lost again. What's the time? So 2 tough losses to take, but I don't have any regrets. It goes Golden Go here. Yeah. Probably should have switched to my Tusk that turn. I guess I can PP stall, I suppose. Probably just Dazzling Gleam spam. Gas, Hex, and I'd have to time this just right. I don't think it makes a difference. Yeah, that's game. But yeah, I have to be mindful of these weird teams. One, my subscribers know my team, but also me losing Tusk. This is 2 games where the opponent had a Scarfmon that got a surprise KO, and that was a critical moment in the game. So he lost probably 50 points around there, but more than enough to get the data we're gonna need, because for us to just cruise to #1, we can't get surprise factored, and 2 surprise factor losses. I like Iron Crown's value placement a lot in this game. The game feels a lot more clear in this matchup. For example, Zapdos' core, well, no solid ground type. Well, Zapdos' core, rocks is going to be very key. Rocks plus Typhon Cutter, Steel, it'll be a bloodbath. Honestly, I could just lead guard Terra Fairy, and I'm not sure how you beat that. The Ogrefon having rocks. I won't do it too early. Great Tusk is solid as well. Zapdos again, key for the Rilla matchup. So you can it can ensure the success of your attack if you only hold positions that count. You know what I'm saying? And so his Great Tusk is a Dragapult. Is the mon with the highest volatility for me, which is why he's going to lead his Pult. Rilla. get Drought here. A Flamethrower. T-Tar obviously makes the most sense. But Draco Meteor. Anything. I lose a lot of value. Could have died there. I lose a lot of value on him doing this here. Doesn't lose me that much value. But I'd lose a lot of value. He could have lost his Rillaboom turn 1, which is a bit odd. Especially for such a low value trade-off, right? I guess he was praying that I'd assume the Tyranitar has some kind of alternative thing. But a Tar with grassy terrain. If I were to Iron Crown, he'd leave it in. Garganical looks good. Yeah. I have the steaming suspicion. I have the I was gonna say I have the suspicion that he is. I think I'll just have to be a little more patient with this matchup. It's not one I think I'll win in a very short amount of time. Oh, actually U-turn. So rocks stay up, which is big. Rocks stay up, which is big. But that's a pretty good switch for him, particularly with the Sandstorm being up. With Iron Crown, rocks, that's a big turn. Man, maybe I shouldn't have just fucking went. I knew he was gonna defog. I expected defog. I was gonna get more leverage there. This may have knock as well. Samurott isn't that important, but I'd prefer spikes if I could have it. T-Tars lefties would be a complete waste. So we'll mid-ground Polt. Cudgel should come out. Yeah. I timed the sand turns properly. He knows he won't die, so he'll stay in this turn. Though he doesn't know anything about my Polt, so he may predict Will-O-Wisp on it. The Corvi is... Nah, I don't think I confirmed anything about it. Never took damage. I'm gonna say Corvi could be helmet. Strike a meteor better. This helmet Corvi. So that's huge for me. That is huge that he's helmet, because this allows for me to volt switch here on his Tyranitar. That's a huge turn that he's helmet. Because T-Tar he's never leaving in. But I get to Ceaseless Edge directly on the Corvi. And now Razor Shell into Roost. Oh, that's a big crit. That's a game-changing crit. He would have roosted the next turn, which would have allowed the Encore, which would allow the spikes to stay up. That's a huge crit. Like, him having to play with spikes up is big. Something I didn't account for is the fact that he very well could just not be defog Corviknight. So he asked for the Tusk. The obvious Polt is obvious. Just fine. But this is the issue. Now you have nothing to guard against this beast right here. He could Terra Steel and Headlong Rush, or Terra Steel and Rapid Spin. If he Terra Steels, Rapid Spins. Oh, this fucker's... oh shit, that's bad. It's not, but it is. It is. Meaning like he's like super AV. Because my tusk is a really big issue for him as well. That's annoying. He goes hard bolt. I'm surprised by that. Considering I guess he can't risk me rapid spinning, to be fair. But I didn't expect hard tusk or hard pole or the Terra Steel ice spinner. I just have to be mindful of some terrestrialization down the line from him. Doesn't matter in terms of my guard. I could also just Terra Steel ice spinner. I could Terra Steel rapid spin, which would solve the ogre pawn issue. Just really mindful of his potential Terra. My guard beats everything else, so I should be fine. Because this gets rid of the Terra. And my matchup being a steel type is actually still as good as my matchup being a ground type. And so if the ogre pawn is encore, guard just eats it, and then the samurai beats the last two. As I mentioned, I'm still a bit rusty, so I know the difference when the thoughts are flowing like they should. Like okay, I think this could be this thing could be this thing could be what. So T-Tar comes in. T-Tar could terrestrialize and have like Thunder Wave or something. That would make sense. And then he could try to endgame with so my best player is to go Samurai, Terra Ghost, right? So that's what I meant, something like that. But he was just gonna go for knockoff, so I don't know how great that is. And all I need here is the damage, because all I do here is Iron Defense. He's gonna go Great Tusk, but Great Tusk doesn't matter anymore. The hazards aren't as important anymore. Yeah. And now we saw Cure. Oh, okay. I did not see that coming. So Tar dies the V to a headlong rush. Just trying to avoid the ogre pawn going for like a low kick or something. Don't want ogre pawn being would be knockoff. Yeah. Here it's Saw Cure for free. Yeah, I don't want ogre pawn coming in. That was key. That was key. What would ogre pawn do? That's the only way I could lose is if he SDs. Yeah. Now the game's over. GG. I'm trying to account for, because I lost a ton of points to those two 1600 guys, so that's okay. The necessary price for the lesson. But that's where we're gonna end the live today. But yeah, guys, if you're interested in the master binding, that's something I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to hopping down the ladder, breaking down all these concepts to everybody battling each other, and then always being a part of that group so that we can continue to, because the community aspect is something that I just I don't know why I slept on. I guess because it's always been there for me, But like, that's such a big piece. Like being able to just hop on the ladder and have some good times. That makes the game so much more fun. So only 10 slots. Get it while you can. I don't know if I'll ever offer this again. I'll have to see how much fun I have, because I need to have fun as well. But you guys, every bootcamp person I've ever had has been such a dope person. So I have full confidence it's going to be great. So yeah, that's all I have, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.